The rain was very heavy that night. Cold wind moved through the small streets. Inside a tiny house near the old railway line, a little boy sat alone on the floor. His name was Daniel. Daniel was only 10 years old, but his eyes looked older than his age. He was holding a broken toy car in his hands. His stomach was empty. His heart felt heavy. Suddenly, he heard footsteps outside. Slow, careful, or tired footsteps. Daniel stood up quickly. "Mom," he whispered. The door opened with a soft sound. A woman entered the house. Her clothes were wet. Her face looked pale. Her hands were shaking from cold. But when she saw Daniel, she smiled. That woman was Maria, Daniel's mother. She closed the door and put her small bag on the table. "Daniel," she said softly, "did you eat?" Daniel looked down. Maria understood without asking more. She took a deep breath. Then she reached into her bag. She pulled out one small piece of bread. Just one. Daniel's eyes became wide. "Mom, you eat," he said quickly. Maria smiled again. "No," she said. "I already ate." That was a lie. Daniel did not know that. This was a mother's love. Maria and Daniel did not always live like this. Years ago, their life was very different. They lived in a clean house with white walls and a small garden. Daniel's father, John, worked in a factory. Maria worked at home and took care of Daniel. Every morning, Maria made breakfast. Eggs, bread, and warm milk. Every night, she read stories to Daniel before sleep. Life was simple, but it was happy. Then one day, everything changed. John did not come home that evening. Maria waited. Daniel waited. Hours passed. The sun went down. Finally, there was a knock on the door. Two men stood outside. They wore dark clothes. Maria felt fear in her heart. They spoke slowly and softly. There was an accident at the factory. John was gone. Maria did not cry at first. She felt empty. Daniel held her hand tightly. That night, Maria cried quietly so Daniel would not hear. From that day, Maria became both mother and father. Without John, life became difficult. Money was little. Bills were many. Maria tried to find work. She cleaned houses. She washed clothes. She worked long hours. But it was never enough. Slowly, they lost their home. They moved to a smaller place. Then to an even smaller one. Finally, they came to the tiny house near the railway line. But Maria never stopped smiling for Daniel. Every night, she said, "Tomorrow will be better." Daniel went to a public school. His clothes were old. His shoes had holes. Other children noticed. Some laughed. Some pointed. "Poor boy," they said. Daniel felt pain, but he stayed quiet. One day, a boy named Mark pushed him. "Why do you wear broken shoes?" Mark laughed. Daniel stood up slowly. "My mom works very hard," he said. "That is enough for me." Mark did not understand. But Daniel did. Every night, Maria came home late. Daniel thought she worked in many houses. But the truth was harder. Maria cleaned streets at night. She carried heavy bags. She worked when others slept. Sometimes she did not eat. Sometimes she felt sick. But she never told Daniel. Why? Because a mother's love is silent. Winter came early that year. The house was cold. The wind entered through cracks in the walls. Daniel shivered at night. Maria gave him her coat. I am not cold, as she said. That was another lie. One night, Maria fainted while working. A kind woman helped her. You must rest, the woman said. Maria smiled weakly. My son needs me, she replied. One afternoon, Daniel came home with a letter. Mom, he said, a teacher gave this. Maria opened it. It said Daniel was a bright student. He learned fast. He needed books and supplies. But books cost money. Maria closed the letter quietly. That night, she sold her wedding ring. The last memory of John. She bought books for Daniel. When Daniel saw them, his eyes filled with joy. Mom! These are new. Maria smiled. Yes, she said. Because you are special. Daniel wanted to be a doctor. He wanted to help sick people. I will buy you a big house, he said one day. Maria laughed. I only need you to be happy, she replied. But in her heart, she believed in him. One night, a big storm came. Rain flooded the streets. The roof leaked. Water entered the house. Maria tried to stop it. Suddenly, she slipped. She hit her head. Daniel screamed. Mom! Maria did not move. Daniel cried and shook her. Neighbors heard him. They took Maria to the hospital. Daniel waited all night. Alone. Afraid. The doctor spoke to Daniel kindly. Your mother is very weak, he said. She worked too hard. Daniel felt guilt. I should help her more, he cried. Maria woke up later. She saw Daniel sleeping on a chair. She smiled softly. My boy, she whispered. A social worker visited them. She saw Maria's condition. She helped them. Maria got a daytime job in a small kitchen. Daniel got help from school. Life was still hard. But it was better. Time moved on. Daniel grew older. He studied every night. Maria watched him proudly. Her hair became grey. Her body became tired. But her love stayed strong. One day, Daniel stood in front of a big building. A hospital. He wore a white coat. Maria stood beside him. Mom, Daniel said, we made it. Maria cried. Not from pain. From happiness. Years later, Maria became ill. Daniel stayed with her. Mom, he said, holding her hand. Why did you never tell me how hard it was? Maria smiled weakly. Because, she said, a mother's love is not to complain. It is to protect. She closed her eyes peacefully. Daniel became a doctor. He helped poor people for free. On his office wall was one photo. A woman with tired eyes and a warm smile. His mother. Because a mother's love never ends. Moral of the story. A mother may be weak in body, but she is strong in love.